Yeah, so what is a wyvern? Why do some people pronounce it as wyvern? And I'm not having it.
It's going to be a while before we get anyone in anyway, because no one knows the stream's going.
Well, that's all
You
right.
saying the regulars aren't aware? Every Thursday at 7 till 9?
They'll have.
Yeah, but they won't know which stream to go to, will they? I've just put live right this minute. I've just put live right this minute on Twitter. Twitter at.
On the bird program.
On Twitter at, yeah.
Cameron's favourite.
Right, and now we are live. Oh, we got 2 viewers already. Oh, Fritz in first.
Oh, what?
Right. They'll never hear that content. What were we discussing?
What content? They won't even hear you talking about it. They'll never hear that content either.
You're just pissing on all my jokes.
They'll never hear that content.
Here I am trying to be relevant and asking, the big questions. Like how is wyvern spelt and why is it pronounced that way?
It's wyvern anyway, Hobbit.
Yeah.
A wyvern. Yeah, but you say werewolf, and you're the only person I know that calls it a werewolf. Everyone else I know calls it a werewolf.
I won't
The
call it a
werewolf
werewolf.
been having chickens again. We call it a wolf man.
Your werewolf pronunciations are worrying the sheep.
Good.
Yep.
Right, we're live.
Good.
4 people are aware we're live.
Hello, everybody.
Chris Wolf agrees with Hobbit. Is that on werewolf pronunciation?
Hello. Yes, werewolves and wyverns.
Is that werewolf pronunciation?
Werewolves, wyrewolves and wyverns and witches and other things.
And combine harvesters.
My combine harvester.
Where's the wolf? Werewolf. Not werewolf.
Wyrewolves.
Who wolf?
Werewolf?
Who wolf?
It's on Skinwalker Ranch. That's where the werewolf is.
Oh, in other news, I've been listening to Exodus Americanus, and it was fun listening to the guys there saying that dinosaurs are fake. And they're dragons. Dragons are real, but dinosaurs is a hoax to try and convince people dragons aren't real and replace them with something which is lame and crap. Like the Tyrannosaurus Rex with its useless, you can't do anything with those hands.
Have they been watching Fortean Words, have they?
Wow. Or maybe we've been going into the Akashic Records at the same time, and that's why we unrelated people have gone, dragons are a bit suspect, aren't they?
I mean, yeah, the Akashic Record literally will disprove anything.
Twin
not there,
theory all over again.
Yeah.
Well, the skeptics like you, there's a whole section about you in the Akashic Records. For all I know, Ian could be a creator in the Akashic Records. I mean, all the stuff he's taught me about cryptozoology.
That it's bollocks.
It'll all come out one day.
Well, I still believe it. It's just all the evidence that Ian presents
Are we
to
saying
me
that dinosaurs
unconvincing.
are cryptids now? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, I am. Because
Barnum and Bailey invented the dinosaur.
I'm saying dinosaurs as real as the Montauk monster, in that they've taken
Dinosaurs
something
are
real.
real in my mind.
Well, the Montauk monster is based on something real, but it's like when they say Schindler's List is based on the true story. The based on the true story, as far as I know, is like 2 men are in a pub complaining about the cost of copper, and one of them goes, they had masturbation machines, they're really cool, I mean really bad. That's based on a true story, right? If someone says to me something, and then I make a film about it, and then someone goes, but that's not what happened in real life.
Fifth Rules post reminds me, how long does a chicken last in the freezer?
Do you know, I don't know. I've had meat which has been in the freezer for over a year.
I put one in yesterday and a couple were dead this morning. Look,
I can make the jokes, but I can't understand them.
What?
I can make
how
the
long
jokes.
how long does a chicken last in a freezer? I put one in yesterday, and the cunt were dead this morning.
It's like
Christ,
it's like that. The joke about what's the difference between a hormone and a vitamin? Well, you can make a hormone, but you can't make a vitamin, but it's not true because you make vitamin D and.
Well, there are two things that confused me for the longest time. How do you get down off an elephant? You don't. You get down off a duck.
Oh yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, and do you remember the one from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? Yeah, what's hyperspace travel like? It's like being drunk. Well, that doesn't sound too bad. Will you tell that to a glass of water?
Oh yeah. The one I was thinking of this morning was like time flies like an arrow, fruit flies like a banana.
Mm.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah,
Are we getting on with some content now?
That took a while.
I'm not here all night. I'm going to go to bed early. I'm tired.
But have you seen Craig Charles's UFO Conspiracies, which is out?
I've seen the adverts for it. I haven't watched any of it yet.
Yeah,
No. But I tell you what, I have seen where he's with Bill Bailey, a 1997 panel show called Space Cadets, and it's not very funny, which is a shame.
I've seen a rubber band and I've seen a peanut stand. I even seen a needle that winked its eye.
You've seen a house fly, you've seen a crane fly, but I've never seen an elephant fly. Apparently, we're not supposed to.
Craig Charles poetry.
Yeah, I remember that when he used to do it on Friday Night Live. Was it Saturday Night Live? Friday Night Live.
Something about a snowman using a carrot for his dick, or something like that.
Isn't it supposed to be punk poetry?
Yeah, punk poetry.
Yeah, don't you remember seeing him on Red Dwarf and go, oh, look, there's the poetry guy.
Wasn't there also a thing in...
on Coronation Street, it was, there's the guy who took crack in the back of a taxi.
I think that was Coronation Street that did that to him, though, wasn't it?
I just like that he was considerate masturbator, and he was like, I'm going to pull over into this lay-by, then smoke crack and masturbate whilst reading a bongo mag. I just, some people be irresponsible.
But he did it in a taxi, Hobbit, and he wasn't driving the taxi. So he wasn't that considerate, was he?
Meter was running all the time he was doing it, though, so the cab driver had a good fear at the end of it.
Oh, Off-Licence remembers Space Cadets. Wasn't the bird from Babylon 5 a captain?
Yeah, she was there, and then Walter Koenig was on the other side, and I've never seen it before.
That's the wrong one.
That's George Takei, yeah. It was, they made a couple of jokes at his expense where there's like, no, that wasn't me, that was George Takei. That's how Walter Koenig sounds like in my mind.
Captain.
Yeah, also they're showing Shaun Ryder on UFOs as well. Has anyone been seeing that one?
How many captains were there on Space Cadets? Craig Charles, you can be a captain, you can be a captain, you can be a captain.
Craig Charles was the captain, and then the other side it was Bill Bailey, and then they had guests on.
Didn't someone say the bird from Babylon 5 was a captain as well? I mean, how many teams did they have in this thing?
No, she was like
wait, which one?
A guest.
Which one's from Babylon 5? Which broad?
The Babylons.
Ivanka.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, you should watch it.
What? I've watched Babylon 5. I haven't watched this cadet thing. I'm just saying. I'm like, dude, Ivanka, yes.
Can't adjust
all we had was the adventure game with Gail Platt's mum in it. Do you remember that, Ian? The adventure game.
Yeah, and John Craven was on it, wasn't he?
Yeah. But I remember Sue. What's her name? Sue Perkins was on it quite regular, weren't she? Is it Sue Perkins? What's her name?
Of Ghost. What's the ghost thing? She was on.
She was
Coronation Street and that ghost.
She was
that
Miss
ghost
Popoff.
thing with
She was
that's
Miss
right.
Popoff,
Yeah.
She was sneeze and teleport. Hobbit, you'd love. Do you remember Rent a Ghost, Hobbit? You'd love Rent a Ghost.
It's one of those things I've been meaning to watch at least one episode of, so I can understand what everyone's on about. because apparently there was, I'm not sure if it's the guy in this. Now, mind you, my dad does get these things mixed up. Like I found out today, an Inspector Calls is by J.B. Priestley, not G.K. Chesterton.
I thought it was Alpin. Oh, yeah. Sorry, yeah.
It does look interesting, so I might read it. But you know the English version of Fort Boyard, they had that bloke in the tower. And my dad says, yeah, he was on Rent-A-Ghost. He was the one that would pick up like he was like a wizard from the past. He'd be like, I shall make a call to them on the telling bone, because that's
Timothy
what he called
Claypole, not Catchpole.
Oh, Timothy Claypole.
Yeah.
Wasn't Leslie Grantham on Fort Boyard? Wasn't he on that as well?
Yeah.
Melinda Messenger was on it. I like Melinda Messenger.
And, Leslie Grantham was also on the TV version of Cluedo.
Wasn't that Channel 5 Fort Boyard?
Yeah.
Because it's like on the same kind of budget and quality as that. Do you remember that El Dorado?
El Dorado was BBC.
Oh, yeah.
El Dorado was BBC One. That was the most expensive soap ever made. They made that whole complex.
Oh,
yeah. El Dorado was the most expensive TV soap ever made.
Oh, yeah. It was fucking terrible, though. I thought that was like one of like Channel 5 when it came out.
Marcos. Do you remember Marcos? The Spanish bird that was married to Marcos.
Is the set still extant? Because oh my god, my voice is so hot I can hear it in your thing, Hemi.
Yeah.
You should turn me down. You should mic cuck me. Well, mic cuck me out of consideration to everybody else.
Why don't you sort out your own fucking shit instead of making me do it?
Because I can't.
That's too low. What do I? 15%? Is that enough?
Well, just do it to a point where my voice isn't like booming out over everyone else.
I think that's a bit better.
If the audience starts complaining I'm too quiet, then we know something's gone.
Yeah. What was I going to look up? El Dorado.
Whilst you're looking up that, the reason that the Crystal Maze exists is because there was going to be a Channel 4 Fort Boyard, but the French...
Yeah, it was made by the same bloke as EastEnders. Oh, fuck, I wanted the Wikipedia. I didn't want that.
Really? What, Fort Boyard? I thought it was a French team.
El Dorado.
But anyway,
Tony Holland. So they hoped, the BBC hoped it would be as successful as EastEnders and replicate some of the sunshine and glamour imported Australian soaps such as Home and Away and Neighbours. Yeah, they got that a bit wrong, didn't they?
It was bad. It was like a slightly more glamorous version of Crossroads.
It's got that bird, for the bird in the wheelchair from The Office. She was in it.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Was she in a wheelchair then as well?
She was sort of. Sometimes she was in it, and sometimes she wasn't.
Oh right, so it's a bit of an act then, this wheelchair thing.
Is she lazy?
Yeah. So.
Youth Hosteling with Chris Eubank.
It was Crossroads with a siesta.
I can't find it. But there's something about the set. It's like the most expensive set ever made.
What about BBC are really good at making like really expensive productions that are really boring.
Yeah, because they just get loads of money fucking thrown at them, so they just literally don't give a fuck.
Where was it made? Because it was set in Spain. Where were the location shots filmed?
Oh, this Wikipedia page is wank.
I bet that was just an excuse for the BBC execs to have a like working holiday.
It's probably Jersey or something.
Oh god! See also Albion Market. Do you remember Albion Market?
Yeah, that
was Oh shit! As of 15th of July 2021, some episodes of El Dorado, including the first six final episodes, are available on BritBox.
Cool.
Nice. Why can't they just show all of them, or do they like? No, we're not going to show the episodes where people are talking like what they used to.
The Albion Market is it just captures the essence of how drab and dreary the 80s really were.
how bad Market was.
I think one of the things people never really capture about the 80s was how beige and brown everything was.
Fucking hell. Did you know the fictional place where they what's it? El Barcos. Los Barcos is the thing. Why are we talking about El Dorado on a paranormal program? It's half an hour from Fuengirola, in case you want to know where it is.
Isn't it like the Lost City of Gold? So it is paranormal.
I was going to say, we do an episode
the curse of El Dorado housing estate.
Also an Iron Maiden song.
What's that?
Oh,
the thing is, EastEnders it became more popular than Coronation Street in the 80s. So ITV
Holy
thought,
fuck.
how we going to compete?
I found it. They reckon it cost approximately 10 million quid to launch the El Dorado TV series, something which sank without trace.
I remember it. Yeah, I remember the bird in the wheelchair. It was a blonde bird, and Marcus. He was like the slimy guy who was like, what's his name? Paul from Neighbours.
Oh, do you remember the fat dude with the tash with the impossibly fit missus? Do you remember him?
Vaguely, yeah.
Fizz. Was it Fizz was his missus?
No, it's like right on the edge of my memory.
Yeah, it's. I'm only being jogged because I'm looking at the cast photos.
Just remember seeing the advert and thought, right, I'm not.
Yeah.
Watch
Roger.
that.
So someone called Roger Walker played Bunny. Was famous for playing Bunny, who was in one of the most talked about early storylines from El Dorado when he arrived in Spain with his 17-year-old bride Fizz. What the fuck? What the fuck was going on in that program? This is some real paranormal shit I've found here.
I reckon if that had been like at least 10 years earlier, it could have been really successful. I reckon that would make a good 70s show.
Yeah,
just spice it up a bit.
Just imagine like fucking just spunking 10 million. Like nobody says a word about nobody gets sacked for it. Just spunking 10 million on a failed TV series and just going, fuck it. See you later.
A more recent example is the Rome, which they co-did with HBO. Every episode was more expensive than Game of Thrones, and yet it was so shit. And it's like, how can you make something about the glory of Rome so bad? And yet the BBC... Oh, and of course, because they're in the middle of Rome, there was loads of Indians there, because, yes... oh, hello there, sir. Oh, hello. Ave Imperial. Would you like to have some tikka masala with your wine? And it's like, what? Why? Erwood, don't you know the Silk Road exists? Yeah, the Silk Road exists. So, like, a dozen traders come up when they got, like, spices and silk. They're not going to be like, oh, I shall take vacation my entire village to go and live in Agricola.
What, you never heard of Imperator Ringo?
or the Indian Auxilia, yeah, no. Maybe that we should do like an alternative history, but actually no. This is
in which Rome was Indian. Yeah.
I can imagine ancient Rome being full of chicken shops. Chicken shops.
Well, I mean, it might be worth doing like a Forteans about Bactria and the other Aryan kingdoms, which Alexander the Great conquered.
I think we need to do a show now about the BBC's missing millions. I think that's what we need to do.
Do you think we should do?
Just seeing the fact they spunked 10 million on the El Dorado set. I mean, that has to be money, some sort of money laundering operation where you spunk 10 million on a set and then cancel the TV series.
Well, it lives up to his name, does it not? El Dorado, the missing city of gold, right? It lives up to it perfectly, doesn't it? Of course, it's a fucking money laundering scam.
It must be.
We ought to have that bloke who does the teletext thing, Chili Kong Johnny.
Who else is quite good? There's the BBC guy. I used to follow him. I can't remember what his current thing is. He was quite good. JMK said I was going to start watching Rome last night. Lol, it is shit. I quite enjoyed it. What I remember of it, anyway, because Ray Stevenson's pretty good in it, isn't he?
I thought the first series was all right, but then the second series was supposed to be stretched out between two series, but it got cancelled, so it had to be condensed into the
Is this another one where the BBC spunked a load of money into the set and then the thing gets cancelled?
Yeah, no, it was HBO that cancelled it.
Yeah, HBO cancelled it because they're watching and it's like, this is shit, it's boring. This isn't what people want to watch. And the BBC
it was really like boring, like back home Rome stuff. There weren't any like battle stuff in it, was there?
And then the BBC's like, no, you don't understand. This is actually really good drama, or it's going to get a BAFTA, yeah. And the HBO are like, lol, Lamal, we don't care. This is not entertaining. Fuck you. And the BBC was like, well, we'll just agree to disagree. You know, there was one time the BBC did a collaboration with Channel 4, and it was not shit. It was a show called Blue Lazarus. Have any of you seen it?
Never heard of it.
Blue Lazarus was it was a sort of near science fiction sort of thing. Cigarettes had been banned, which I thought was interesting predictive programming for a mid-90s show. And it was about a man who was dead and he brought him back to life and he keeps having nightmares because, like, he's been in hell or something. And there was lots of sex in it because Channel 4, you know. They're like, we need a show that's about sex, which isn't Eurotrash.
The name of art.
Mm.
That's their excuse anyway.
I must admit, I'm disappointed with Channel 4 now. I looked at documentaries and there was things like I breastfeed my boyfriend. I'm like, this is no way near as good as Eurotrash. I mean, it's all the titillation of it, but with none of the tongue-in-cheek humour about, look at these funny Europeans getting
Well,
naked.
it was kind of like the charm of Eurotrash was like a saucy postcard type thing, wasn't it?
And also the dubbing.
Yeah, the dubbing in the hilarious regional accents. Like,
Remember
have some German dominatrix in a Brummie accent or something.
Did anyone remember the Eurotrash episode where they did adverts that were banned?
Oh, that sounds good. No, that's the difficult thing. I use Invidious to watch age-restricted videos on YouTube because Eurotrash is up there. People have uploaded VHS copies. But I think one of my favourite ones, that was about this Belgian watercolour artist and the pigments he made it with cow shit. And they just had, some the usual sort of bloke, and it's like, wow, some people say art is shit. And when someone says your art looks like shit, I could say, well, funny enough, it is.
Right, should we get on with some ghost talk? Because this is really going off the fucking rails now.
We're more reviewing the soaps rather than looking at ghost photos.
Let's just do an episode on Eurotrash. Let's go.
And how much the BBC spunk on sets that they don't intend keeping.
Oh, there's a ghost story for you.
Yeah, the haunted El Dorado set.
It is. Anyway,
haunted with the dreams of actors that signed on early.
The haunted license payers' money, where does it go?
That's 3 Men and a Baby is haunted, isn't it? That's got the ghost boy in it. But anyway, okay, then let's look at this then, is it? We'll kick off on ghosts caught on camera. So, what is a ghost, is what we're asking, isn't it? The Oxford English Dictionary defines it as follows. An apparition of a dead person which is believed to appear or become manifest to the living, typically nebulous image. So that's fair enough. Some of us have seen a ghost, like Hemi. Hobbit, sorry. Hobbit, you've seen a ghost, haven't you? And most of us have met someone who has seen a ghost. But do we believe them? So what we need is evidence, because no one likes a bullshitter. So they say the camera never lies. So in tonight's lecture, we're going to look at evidence of ghosts caught on film. So who's seen a ghost here then?
Ghosts on film. Na 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 na. Ghosts on film. Sorry, I had to do it.
In the video, in the video to Ghosts on
Still
Film,
get copyright claimed.
In the video, there's some ghosts in wet t-shirts fighting in a paddling pool. But anyway, so has everyone seen a ghost here? We know Hobbit has, but anyone else?
No, I haven't. I'm yet to experience one.
Have. You haven't? Good, all right. Okay, then, so we're going to see some now then, innit? So the first photo we're going to look at comes from the early days of photography, taken in an old abbey in Victorian times.
That could be the wanky old cameras, though, couldn't it? You had to, didn't you have to sit there for about 3 hours, didn't you, to wait for the film to go off?
We're going to look at the evidence and we're going to analyse and we'll see. So, Combermere Abbey is a former monastery, later a country house, near Burlington between Nantwich and Whitchurch in Cheshire. In 1891, the second Lord Combermere kicked the bucket and his funeral took place on the 5th of December at St Margaret's Church in Wrenbury. At the time of the funeral, a lady named Sybil Corbett was staying at the house and she took a photograph of the wonderful Combermere Library with a long exposure camera. It's most likely that the photo took about an hour to take, and it was taken at the time because of the quietness of the house, as the whole family and the majority of the staff members were paying their respects at the funeral.
What's his name? Lord Cummybeard.
Yeah, Lord Cummy Pants. So,
Lord Gummy Bear.
Yeah.
Calling legit on this one.
So anyway,
was he bouncing here, there, and everywhere?
When the photo was developed a year later, Sybil found a startling sight. There was a transparent image of a man's upper body sitting in one of the chairs in the library. So we can see there. So there's the image there.
That is a weird, overexposed, like, cluttered room, isn't it?
It is. There's shit everywhere. But also, if you look at the chair, there is
it's
an
like,
image.
why is that thing in the foreground? It looks kind of like it might be a gramophone, but it could be literally anything.
Yeah, it was in the early days. It was before gramophones were invented, so looks like a footstool of some kind.
It looks like an ice skating boot, a bit, or a roller skating boot.
Oh, yes. Anyway, Lord Combermere's children noted that the apparition's likeness was of their late father, and the chair in which the spectre seemed to be sitting was indeed his favourite. Was the ghost of Lord Combermere settling down for some peace and quiet in his favourite spot in the library, whilst his body was being buried 4 miles away? So we can just decide for ourselves there. Some have tried to dispute the validity of the photograph, stating that due to the long exposure of the shot, a man sitting down for a moment and leaving again would produce a transparent figure. A servant may possibly have sat down and then noticed there was a photo being taken and then fucked off quickly. Sybil said that this was a possibility, but there were very few men in the house at the time, and most were attending the funeral. Also, the clothes worn by the man in the house
so there was
were
a man in the
different.
House then.
No, there
were very few men in the house, meaning there was a man in the house, which means it was possible.
Yeah.
Also, is it my imagination, or is, like, by the look on his face, is he like on his vinegar strokes?
He's knocking one out. I think what she meant, though, is she just meant there was no cunt in the house at the time. So
what did you just say? There were no men in the house. It's like, oh yeah, there were a couple of men in the house, which means it's entirely possible, but I'll pretend it's not.
Also, the clothes worn by the men of the house were vastly different to that of the ghostly figure. So yeah,
was he doing a bit of pole dancing there? Someone said in the chat. In the foreground, is that a bit of pole dancing equipment?
What is that tripod thing? What is
that's just he's firing his hot load into the air. That's what it is. Some may wonder why it's only the body of Lord Combermere that can be seen sat in the chair, and
it's not really.
His
it's
legs.
Kind of his head and arm.
No legs visible though. So this is the interesting part, and it's not the ghost of Paul McCartney's wife. So the answer may lie in the manner of Lord Combermere's death. Whilst visiting London, the Lord was run over by a horse-drawn carriage, stupid cunt, causing serious injury to both of his legs.
How did he get run over by a horse-drawn carriage? Was it not making enough noise on the cobbles then, was it?
Yeah, you weren't looking where he was fucking going, was he?
Fucking deaf cunt.
What did he do? Just stand there and just like look at it while it ran him over, like not
stupid prick
in slow motion, you know. It's
fucking arsehole.
4 miles an hour. Yeah. Oh no, I'm being run over by a horse. Oh no.
Serves you fucking right. Anyway, although it looked like he may recover, he suddenly passed away a few weeks later. Could there be a link between the injury Dr. Combermere's legs and how the ghost appears to the living. So
did his legs fall off then? Is that part of how he died?
it didn't say his legs fell off, but they were pretty much useless. So
Wait, so his legs died first. That's why you can't see them in this photo.
His legs will appear in the chair. Well,
I suppose he couldn't have.
They appeared in the chair the night before. His legs did because they died.
And also, you can't say that he kicked the bucket, could you? Anyway.
Wait, so if you see a pair of ghostly legs walking around the streets in London, it says then, right?
Yep.
That's where they died, right? That's where they died. So I'm guessing he must have died in the chair.
Yeah, that would make sense. Anyway, let's move on. Photographer and killjoy Matthew Stern attempted to recreate this photo by sitting in a chair, setting his camera to take a long exposure, then moving his legs about during the sit-in. So there we go. That's the photo there that the that this guy
Off-License
took.
says in the chat he'd like to see Victorian Babe Station featuring Olivia showing plenty of ankle.
And some wrist as well.
This is something which is possible with digital photography, but it was quite easy to do with analog, where you'd take a shot and then you'd have to manually wind the camera to put a new section of film there. You can do a double exposure if you forget to do that, and there's a photograph of me somewhere double exposed, and I think my uncle might have it. It's when we visited the Atomium in Brussels, and there's like a picture of him and I and sort of superimposed over the building.
Double exposed? Why? Were your trousers undone, Hobbit?
I
did it with
5 years old at the time, so I hope not.
I did it with HMS Belfast. I took a.
Willie was hanging out while you had a picture.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Let's move on to the next picture. We can compare the two, the fake photo and the real photo of the ghost, and see what we think. And see.
No, he's fucked up there. You can see two hands.
Let's have a look there. See, there's no legs on either. So let's go to the next photo there, Hemi. We'll just have a look and compare the two, so we can all then decide ourselves.
No, he's fucked it up because he's got two hands on there. He hasn't recreated it, has he?
Yeah, well, he's had a good go though, isn't he?
Myth plausible. I'd say myth plausible because he's got two hands there, and the other bloke's only got one.
Yeah, so yeah.
So one on the right, the ghost of Obi-Wan.
Yeah, cool. All right then. So that's that. So that's still open for debate. That photo. So could be a ghost. Could be a double exposure.
I'd say because of the wanky cameras, I think it's probably like you say. I think it's more than likely a servant sat down and then fucked off quick or bollocks.
Be the ghost, though, innit? Could be the ghost. So anyway, all right. Let's move on to the next picture. In 1919. Yeah, this is a good one.
Is that a Dad's Army cast photo?
Yeah, well, we got to look closely at the photo. So a group photo was taken of Sir Victor Goddard's RAF squadron who served in World War I aboard HMS Daedalus. That's how. So we look at the photo there, and we can't. Nothing jumps out at us.
Which one? Make them guess which one it is, because I know which one it is.
Yeah, we know which one it is. All right, then we'll just we'll sit it out. We'll
I
be here
think
all
it's
night.
the one on the bottom left because he's got the wrong hat on.
Now you look closely, and there's a ghost looking over the shoulder of the guy who is fourth from the left on the top row. So
okay.
You see, so if you go to the next picture, we've got more of a close-up. Yeah, we've got a better view. We've go to the next picture there.
I just said the bloke that's 4th in 5th. The one 16th from the right, because he's barely on it, is he?
Look, he's being bummed by the ghost. So it's like The Entity, that film.
Yeah.
The ghost has sex with the woman. This is a.
Is that the ghost of Donald Trump, or am I just not seeing correctly?
Ghost of Donald Trump.
The ghost of Oscar Wilde, but looking at his position. So anyway.
It's the ghost of him out of Erasure.
It wasn't anyway. The ghost of Mark Almond. Or any gay man, really. So anyway, the ghost was identified to be that of air mechanic Freddie Jackson. Jackson was killed 2 days before the photo was taken when he accidentally walked into a moving propeller, causing his brain to be distributed all over the runway.
That's easy done,
the photo, yeah. Yeah, it's a no-brainer, really, isn't it? Freddie.
So is it a Freddie
Jackson's
Jackson now? Then is it? Is it a Freddie Jackson?
Freddie
now?
Jackson's death was a no-brainer, wasn't it?
So is it a Freddie Jackson now instead of a JFK?
Or anyone whose brain was.
How did you accidentally walk into a moving propeller?
That guy did it in the Indiana Jones film, didn't he?
Well, at least he was busy being punched in the face by Indiana Jones. At least he had an excuse.
He had an excuse.
Yeah, Pat Roach is in all of them, isn't he? He plays the big guy in all of them.
Yeah, and Bomber in At Wiedersehen, Pet.
Yeah.
So anyway,
and the wizard in what's it? Conan the Destroyer.
He was in a Bond film, I think, wasn't he? He was in a Bond film. Anyway,
was he?
So the photo was taken on the day of Freddie Jackson's funeral.
Ooh.
So
you would have thought he'd be at the funeral, so you turned up, wouldn't you?
Members of the squadron were sure that this was the face of Jackson, and it had been suggested that he was unaware of his death and decided to show up for the group photo. So
you know what it is? He's pointing out the guy who pushed him into that propeller because I don't know he fucking walked into it.
Go into the next photo and look at it even closer so we can see. And if you look at it, the top part of his head is missing as well. And maybe that he's like Combermere's legs, because his legs were damaged in an accident. Freddie Jackson had his head smashed to bits by a propeller. So again, that maybe that.
Note to self: die whole, don't die in pieces.
Die in one piece, yeah.
Or die hard. Anyway, it's when you die having sex, isn't it? Right. Okay then. So.
I don't know if I could be a ghost without a penis.
Yeah.
What would you do? How would you live with yourself?
Maybe that's a different propeller accident. Someone did it for a bet. Anyway, okay then. Oh, yeah, interesting. All right, let's go on to the next.
Whilst you're going on to the next slide, do you wonder with these ghosts? Like, I personally would like to think that when I'm dead and gone, that's it. I've gone to the afterlife. There's nothing past me. So these ghosts, do you think there actually are the remains of people, or are they like? Are they something else?
Well, there are different types of haunting, aren't there? Because obviously you have the stone tape ones, which I don't think are hauntings as such. They're just replays of events, aren't they? And then you have the intelligent ones that maybe they're confused. Maybe they're in denial. I don't know.
When someone says they're haunted, it's never a good thing, right? It's never like, oh, I saw a ghost and I had a good old laugh with them and it was nice and we felt happy. No, it's always bone chilling. It always makes the air like panes of frost on the glass and it's always like. So I reckon like maybe it's some sort of entity which takes on the form of someone that's recently departed. Because
that's what the Bible says, doesn't it? There are no ghosts; it's just demons. Yeah.
Oh well, there you go then.
Yeah.
So,
there's no good ghosts. Yeah. So always got something up their sleeve. So
that's what my RE teacher meant. God, now I understand. All these years.
Yeah. That's what the RE teachers meant. The RE teacher meant that he should be getting a proper job, not that. With proper day's work. Anyway, but
17 RE teachers have just left the chat.
Can you imagine being an RE teacher? Or basically all you do all day is like take the ire of edgy atheists all day. Edgelord teenage atheists. Fucking hell, what a shit.
And then he goes home to his wife saying to her, "Don't even believe in God. It's just a job."
Yeah, much like most of the general synod. Did you see that thing from a few years ago, where like most of the bishops in England don't believe in God.
Oh, really?
Anyway, let's go back to the photo. So, the end of 1924, an oil tanker called SS Watertown sailed from California towards the Panama Canal en route to New Orleans and New York. The voyage was going well until two of the crew, James Courtney and Michael Meehan were ordered to go and clean the cargo tank down in the ship's hold. Somehow, fumes overcame both men and they died before help could reach them. Deaths were ruled accidental. The 4th of December, the Watertown's captain, Keith Tracy, ordered the 2 dead men to be buried at sea and their bodies were tossed overboard. The following day, the entire ship was thrown into uproar when the first mate reported seeing Courtney and Meehan's faces in the water off the port side of the ship. The apparitions could be seen for about 10 seconds bobbing about in the Pacific's choppy waters before disappearing into nothingness.
Was one of them Adolf Hitler? That guy on the left looks like Adolf Hitler, doesn't he?
Adolf Hitler and Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah.
Similar reports from other crew members. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, when you say they were tossed overboard, you know, they were thrown overboard and then tossed, or... Yeah.
Well, the first mate tossed overboard.
Did they have an happy ending? They had an happy ending then, didn't they?
Yeah. He rogered the cabin boy. Anyway,
to be fair, if you do look closely at that picture, if you look at the far left, it looks like Marilyn Monroe's in there as well.
Yeah, they're all there.
Marilyn Monroe's in there with her pet dog. That's what I can see on the far left of that photo.
Yeah.
There's all sorts, isn't there?
Yeah.
But anyway, similar reports from other crew members continued over the following days and were said to be consistent and corroborated. The captain of SS Waterman took 6 photos of the ghostly faces to prove that he wasn't making up the story. 5 of the photos came out blank, but in the one photo, the ghostly faces can be seen staring back out of the water, and that's what we can see there.
So why did they sling them both overboard then? Couldn't they get them buried back up?
Well, that's what they used to do, innit? If you died at sea, especially if it was a long voyage, because you'd start smelling, wouldn't you? They'd keep a dead body. So the image is often printed in Fortean literature and presented as evidence of the existence of ghosts. The image is cropped from a bigger image, and in recent times, researchers have uncovered the original uncropped image. So it looks pretty good that there, doesn't it? You know, you're looking overboard and you see the faces there. Go to the next picture, and that's the actual original image. Can you see the faces?
Oh yeah. So to be honest, I think that's more.
That's the actual ship there, but to the left. Sorry, so to the right.
Oh, that's not overboard, is it?
To the left.
Not really, is it?
Right.
No.
Yeah. Go to the next picture, and we got some help. We got the same image. We got a bit of help identifying where the actual faces are. So let's have a look at that there. So there you go, 2 arrows.
Yeah,
so
that's not overboard, is it?
Well, looks overboard, but it's not actually in the water. Is it sort of hovering type thing? So.
No, because I think that's the deck, isn't it? And the black bits around the sides, they're the sides of the boat, aren't they?
But the white stuff there, that's sort of the water, isn't it? Foaming about as in the sea. The full image, as we can see, the size of the faces can be estimated, and they appear to be huge. If you do a calculation,
there's a ghost right at the end, just to the right of it. Look, it's the ghost of Mickey Mouse in Steamboat Willie. See the big eye and the smile. See the one big eye and the smile. You see that?
Pretty good though. But the calculation comes out that the faces were at least 3 feet in diameter. They were big. Unfortunately, lack of a negative has prevented further analysis, and the photo will be forever regarded as inconclusive. So yeah, there you go. See,
myth busted, is it? Or myth plot? Myth. I can't remember. What's the middle one? You got myth busted, myth plausible, myth inconclusive. I don't know.
Either way.
Myth, sort of, maybe, possibly.
Or is it parandola? We don't know. But they do look face-like. There is some kind of. But anyway.
Yeah.
Sexual.
But again, so we'll put that one down. Well, English Scion says plausible. So. Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next story. So this is a place called Raynham Hall, and look quite a famous image now. Brown Lady of Rainham Hall is a ghost that reportedly haunts Rainham Hall
Does she
in
emit the brown
Norfolk,
noise?
England. Well, we'll find out. We'll find out shortly. The Brown Lady is named so because of the brocade dress it's claimed that she wears.
I think
she also gets the name
because she makes the brown noise.
Also, people shit themselves.
Yeah.
So there's that. According to legend, the Brown Lady of Rainham Hall is the ghost of Lady Dorothy Walpole, 1686 to 1726, the sister of Robert Walpole, generally regarded as the first Prime Minister of Great Britain. She was the second wife of Charles Townshend, who was notorious for his violent temper.
Ooh.
Story says that when Townshend discovered that his wife had committed adultery with Lord Wharton, Townshend was furious and made Lady Walpole promise that she would not be unfaithful to him again. Some months later, Townshend embarked on a hunting trip, but bad weather caused the trip to be cancelled and he went home early. Upon his arrival home, Townshend was shocked to discover his wife, Lady Walpole, in bed with the Duke of Norfolk. Townshend flew off the handle and took his anger out on the servants. Lady Walpole said she would change her ways and would no longer cheat on her husband. So she had decided to change her ways. Lady Walpole then seemed to have changed her ways and told her husband that she'd stopped going behind his back. Townshend did have his suspicions, as his wife would often stay up till all hours and arrive home with her hair matted in spunk, but he just thought he was being paranoid. It was only a matter of time before Lady Walpole strayed again. She was in the pantry with the King of Spain when Townshend walked in on them as she was being penetrated. Townshend went apeshit and punished his wife by locking her in her rooms in the family home, Rainham Hall, and she was to remain there until her death in 1726 from smallpox. Later reports suggest she may have died from syphilis that she caught after one of her many affairs that she had behind her husband's back. She was buried in a Y-shaped coffin. Basically, the woman was a fucking bike. So, nothing could satisfy her hunger for cock, and reports of a ghost started to appear, referred to as the Brown Lady. It was now claimed that she got this name because she liked to take it up the shitter. The first sightings of the Brown Lady of Rainham Hall happened at the Christmas of 1835. Guests and staff reported seeing an apparition wearing a brown dress. Some witnesses reported seeing the ghost's empty eye sockets and dark, glowing face. Through initial sightings,
does that mean she can do the singing blowjob?
Yeah. Oh, she could put dicks. She could take 3 dicks, one in each eye socket and one in the mouth.
I'll tell you, you never heard that joke then, Ian?
5.
About the hooker that can do the singing blowjob.
Go on.
Oh yeah, that's basically the gag. The gag is that you have to do it with the lights off, and one guy turns the light on and finds a glass eye on the nightstand.
Ah, right. It's a bit like the Houdini.
Yeah,
that one. Yeah, you know the Houdini. Anyway, okay then. So anyway, one foul-mouthed chambermaid said, "Fuck this shit. I ain't working in no fucking ghost house," and left her job. So, you know, the Brown Lady was causing havoc in Rainham Hall at this stage. The next time the Brown Lady appeared was in 1836 and was seen by Captain Frederick Myrett, who was a friend of Charles Dickens. Myrett was acting the big man and requested to spend the night in the haunted room at Rainham Hall, where a painting of Lady Dorothy Walpole, the Brown Lady, hung. The first 2 nights of Myrett's stay were quiet and no ghost was seen. The third night, however, he and 2 other men saw the Brown Lady walk in the corridors of the house. Myriot said he observed the entity as it approached him and he recognised her from the portrait that hung in his room. Ooh. Then asked it to give the reason for its presence there, at which point the figure halted of its own accord. He then said the Brown Lady grinned at him in such a diabolical manner, so shut him up. Then discharged his revolver right in her smug fucking face, and the figure instantly disappeared into thin air. In 1926, the brown lady was seen on the staircase of Rainham Hall by Lady Townsend. Again, the ghost could be identified by the painting of Lady Dorothy Walpole, which hung in the haunted room. So, bit of background there into the brown lady. Let's go on to the more modern, sighting and the photo we've got. So, September the 19th, 1936, Captain Hubert Provand, a London-based photographer, and his assistant, Indri Shearer, were taking photographs of Rainham Hall for an article for Country Life magazine. They claim that they were taking photos of the hall's main staircase when they saw a vapour gradually assume the appearance of a woman moving down the staircase towards them. Took a photo of the apparition. So let's have a look at the next photo and see what they saw. Yeah,
this is the inspiration for Krista Berg's song "Lady in Brown."
Or, Lady in Brown.
And Morrison's
is making me poo.
Morrison's Brown Eyed Girl. The brown eye. She likes to take it in the brown eye.
Don't it turn your white pants brown?
Of course, who can forget that favourite George Michael song, I Want Your Sex, with the lyrics attributed to the brown lady, sex is best when it's up the bum.
Yeah. Fucking disgusting, isn't it?
Well, there is a pink lady as well, so the question has to be asked, pink or brown?
Mm. See, these are the hard-hitting questions. You just won't get on other paranormal investigation shows.
Yeah. Anyway,
the pink one in the stink.
Yeah. That's Jimmy Carr, isn't it? Anyway, okay, so there we go. That's the ghost photo there. So real, not real, we don't know. The story of the experience of the ghostly photograph was published in Country Life magazine in December 1936. Shortly afterwards, infamous ghost hunter Harry Price poked his nose in and interviewed Provand and Shearer, after which Price said the following. I'll say at once, I was impressed. Mr. Indri Shearer saw the apparition descending the stairs at the precise moment that Captain Provand's head was under the black cloth, because it's primitive photography.
Is that like a Victorian euphemism for something?
Touch cloth is when you shit yourself, isn't it? So a shout, the cap was off and the flashbulb fired, with the results which we can now see. I could not shake their story, and I had no right to disbelieve them. Only collusion between the two men would account for any faking.
The only problem is it looks like a big thumbs up above her head. You see the big thumb above her head? It looks like a big thumb.
Yeah, maybe she was Maybe she was a gynecologist as well. A big thumbs up to her. Anyway, some critics.
Oh, you know the difference between a gynecologist and a genealogist, don't you, Ian?
No, tell me what
one
it
looks
is.
up your family tree, the other one looks up your family bush.
Right. Cool. Some critics claim that Shearer faked the image by putting grease or a similar substance on the lens in the shape of the figure, or moved down the stairs himself during the exposure.
Would that make it a different colour like that? Because if you put it on the lens, the flash isn't going to affect it, is it?
I don't know, but some things, that's what experts have said. Hard to say with these long exposures.
Jojo Gizmo says he's just found out tonight that his new girlfriend is a ghost. I should have realised that when she walked through the door.
Right. Pretty good. Anyway, okay. Joe Nichol has written that a detailed examination of the photograph shows a double exposure. John Ferry and Simon Welfare wrote, there's a pale line above each stairhead indicating that one picture has been superimposed over the other. A patch of reflected light at the top of the right-hand banister appears twice. Though, yeah, you can kind of see that. Magician John Booth wrote...
Which bit are they talking on the right-hand banister?
Yeah, the right-hand banister. There's light at the top there, which I suppose if you look closely. But
well, it could be catching someone else, something else. So I don't know.
I don't know. Couldn't it? Eh?
Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean, no one's noticed the big thumbs up above her head.
Yeah.
Well, there's a big exclamation mark at the top of the right of the right banister, so it could be like a video game, and that's
she was playing Metal Gear Solid, wasn't she?
The level up bit.
Metal Gear,
Maybe
you
the
know, Metal
ghost-
Gear Solid when the guards see you.
Maybe she was saying something witty. So. Anyway, okay, what was I? Magician John Booth wrote the photograph could be easily duplicated by naturalistic methods. Booth and fellow
Lincoln.
Lincoln it is. Magician and Booth and fellow magician Ron Wilson covered himself in a bedsheet and descended the grand staircase at the Magic Castle in Hollywood. The fake ghost image looks very similar to the Raynham Hall photograph. The critics point out the image very closely resembles a statue of the Virgin Mary, as this would be found in any Catholic church. The light patch covering the bottom third of the image, resembling an inverted V shape, being very indicative, as the outer garment above it drapes down over the other side, set at an angle. Also, the head covered and the hands appear to be get together as in prayer. So, and the square or rectangular pedestal on which she stands is clearly visible. I can't see that myself. Looks like this. This strongly suggests that the photo is a simple superimposition of the Madonna statue on the empty staircase. So, yeah, but it still could be a real ghost. Photographer and party pooper Matthew Stern, he's back again, turned his attention to this photograph and decided to make his own version with the help of a friend and some superimposition. So let's have a look at the next photograph, and we'll look at the Matthew Stern's attempt.
Is that him again, is it?
There's him again. He's a bugger, isn't he? But let's go. So there he is. That's his
oh,
first
yeah, that looks
photo,
exactly the same, doesn't it?
Oh, no, that's just the first photo. So that's the one. So this is for the superimposition. If you go to the next photo then, that's the one he used to superimpose himself. And the next photo, when you go to it, is the
he's done something else to that, because that's a skeleton mask he's put on.
Available from any Halloween shop.
Look, if I flick back...
Yeah.
And then flick to it, he's put a skeleton mask on. The lying little liar face.
Or maybe he's actually taken a photo of a real ghost. As he was faking the ghost photo, he mistakenly took a photo of a real ghost. What happened? Go to the next picture and we can compare the two and see how easy it is. We've got the Raynham Hall brown lady and faked photographs side by side, and there we go. You can see how easy it is to fake such a thing. So there you go. That's do we think the brown lady real or not real? We don't know.
Who can say?
Anything is possible, eh? Could be a real apparition. Could not be. But
Got
anyway.
a weird house.
All
You
right,
got like great big Madonna statue at the bottom, at the top of his stairs.
Some people do have them.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, all right. Anyway, we'll go over to Dom now, who's going to tell us. He's going to show us some more ghost photos. Eh?
Alaska.
Yeah. It's a no-brainer, isn't it? It's a no-brainer.
Okay, so yeah, I'm going to show you some more spectral photos.
Ooh.
Someone who's very well known to everyone on this channel, I think. And I can give you some background and jump in, and when you tell me who it is.
Mm-hmm.
September 1931, James and Margaret Irvine and their 13-year-old daughter, Vori, reported that they were encountering a mongoose that could talk on their remote farm in Dalby on the Isle of Man. Talking mongoose became world famous and big news in an otherwise depressing period in time. The talking mongoose was never proved and is generally put down to hijinks carried out by the Irvine family. There were some suspect photos taken by Jeff by Veery. Taken of Jeff by Veery.
What the hell kind of name is that for a kid? Worry?
It's fucked up, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I thought it was Verity, but I thought it was, but it's not. It's something.
Is it one of those things like Rafe is Ralph? Is it like one of those kind of names? Is it?
It's the sort of name a family who say there's a talking mongoose in the house would give their daughter. So it does. Things do add up, don't they?
Maybe it's pronounced Derek or something.
Yeah.
Who knows? Anyway, we can see it.
Hey, hold on a minute. Voiri, what does the name Voiri mean? Hebrew meaning bitter. Celtic Gaelic meaning bitter. It doesn't tell you how to pronounce it, though. I'll keep looking. I'll let you know if I can. Pronunciation, Vura. V-U-H-R-A-H. Apparently, that is how... Vura is how you... Vura. 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 Apparently, that's how you pronounce it. Vura. Okay.
Anyway, I think we're all waiting for photographic evidence of Jeff the talking mongoose. So let's have a look at it. Let's have a look. And you did.
Oh, fucking hell. That's conclusive, absolute, nailed on proof. That isn't it, lads?
When you did the episode on Jeff the talking mongoose, did you look at these photos?
Farah.
I can't remember.
No, I don't think we showed photos.
Good.
Oh, I've had a look at another one. I think it's Vera. Vara. It's like Vera. I think it's pronounced like Vera. I think.
Vera. We'll stick with Vera.
Yeah.
That. I'm not sure what that looks.
Vara.
It looks like a stuffed toy, doesn't it?
Not at all. That is absolute nailed on proof. Talking mongoose. What more do you want? What more do you want? A full video of Jeff doing a monologue.
Oh no, this will do. This is all I want.
I mean, is that his face or his ass? Have you got any idea?
No, it looks to me like a red panda trying to climb over the fence.
Yeah,
a miniature red panda.
Is it SPG? Is it SPG from the young one? Up scumbag! Up scumbag!
I think we need to see another picture for.
Good.
Let's have a look. What have we got?
Evidence.
Oh, that's it. That's cleared it right up, isn't it? What the actual fuck is that? Do they know what a mongoose looks like? Have they got any idea what a mongoose looks like?
A mongoose looks like a cat.
Yeah. I thought they were more like weasels or that kind of thing, aren't they?
It's either a cat or it could be an owl and something behind it. It doesn't look like a mongoose much.
Considering the mongoose could talk, then it probably take a different form.
Okay, well we've got even more evidence.
Nailed on, stone cold, 100% done evidence. Oh, this is great. Yeah, spot the Jeff.
They're that.
I assume Jeff is the thing that's about in the middle of the picture.
That's his back. There is another. So that's the original photo of Jeff that was presented by the daughter. I'm not going to say her name, partly because I can't.
Just say Vera.
I got no respect. I don't want to say her name because I've lost all respect for her after seeing these pictures. So,
Farah.
Yeah,
Farah. I think it's Farah.
Vulva. So
whatever her fucking name is.
If you go to the next picture, though, we can see there's a line drawn.
Oh, shut up! Fucking
so there we are.
I mean, when you have to draw a line round it, it's not a very good picture, is it?
Has that cleared it up?
This is like, oh look, there's bombs strapped to the bottom of the planes that hit the towers in 9/11. This is like that kind of stuff, isn't it?
The line is actually mongoose shaped, whereas the object underneath the line isn't.
Just draw.
This is just like a turd that someone's fucking taking a picture of, right?
What you need to do is.
Is this Jeff Scat? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It's not Jeff, it's Jeff Scat, isn't it? That's what it is.
It's a log.
It is.
So Harry Price trod in it.
Yeah.
Went skidding across the field. So yeah. So there's the evidence for Jeff the talking mongoose caught on film. So
conclusive, nailed on, 100%. The absolute proof that Jeff exists. So they're skeptics.
So don't argue.
Anyway, next one is the Borley Rectory flying brick.
Where we're going to have our school trip.
Let's pull up the next image, please, Jamie.
What do we got?
Joe Rogan thing there.
Oh, Borley.
So
Is that a tramp? Is that Jeff on the roof of Borley Rectory?
That's Jeff that's Jeff on the roof where he took the form of a chimney. He was a shapeshifter. So
the second roof, the roof down. You know where it's like a bush.
The awning thing.
The porch. Yeah, is that Jeff on the porch? Is it?
It's a bit like a cow's head.
It's just the what do I call it?
Just draw a mongoose shape on it and go, yeah, that's definitely Jeff. So that's post fire then, isn't it? That one.
No, that's before the fire, but but the thing is, before the fire, the rectory wasn't lived in for quite a number of years, so it did get into a bit of a state.
I was going to say they kicked the shit out of it and then set fire to it for the insurance. Is that it was? It was the insurance job, was it?
It was an insurance job, I think, but the fire. But anyway,
right.
Anyway,
I'll give you the details. In October 1938, Captain W.H. Gregson bought the most haunted house in England, Borley Rectory. On the 27th of February 1939, Captain Gregson was unpacking boxes in his new home. He accidentally knocked over an oil lamp, which caused a fire, which destroyed the rectory.
Clumsy fucker.
Yep. So let's have a look at it post-fire. Next picture, please.
Let's have a look at the mess it was in after the fire. This one's been colorized.
No, sorry.
Yeah, go for it.
Ooh.
Yeah. A mess.
Shame, beautiful house, isn't it? Massive.
It's a shame. I would like to have lived there. Not when it was like that, but before. So, yeah.
So
Wouldn't it piss you off all those pebbles being thrown at you by Harry Price, though?
He wasn't the only one.
Harry Price, fuck off. Fuck off with your pebbles, Harry Price. I'm trying to watch telly.
Fucking slaphead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we saying that Harry Price being involved just means it's bullshit? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah. He made his career on bullshit, so.
Because didn't Harry Price visit the Enfield house?
No. That was the guy with the big moustache, Morris, wasn't it? Harry Price was sort of around the wartime. Enfield was the 70s, wasn't he? He was.
Okay. Was he dead by then?
Had long gone, yeah. So he died in a propeller accident, didn't he? So anyway, go on, Don.
Anyway, with the rectory now being in such a state, the only option was to destroy the remains, use the land for something else. The 5th of April 1944, world-famous goat hunter Harry Price went to inspect the remains of the rectory, with a photographer with him. One of the photos was taken during the visit. It appeared to show a brick floating in mid-air. So we can see the next photo, please.
So I was just having a look. Did you know there's a TV series about Harry Price that was on ITV?
When was that?
It was 2015, I think.
2015.
Yeah.
What was on ITV this week, though, was the one about the craze, which was quite good.
Oh, was that good, was it? I was going to watch it.
It's a 3-parter, so I recommend it.
I downloaded the Nielsen files, but I haven't watched it yet.
Pretty good.
Have you seen
but
that?
Anyway,
that was on BBC Two recently, the Nielsen files. We spoke about Dennis Nielsen and Upset Hobbit. Hobbit made me stop talking about it because he couldn't take it anymore.
It made him want to go out and get a job as a plumber.
Yeah. So. It's put him off.
Anyway,
put him off KFC for life.
So anyway, can we all see the floating brick in that photo?
Yeah.
No, I can't.
Suspended in midair.
You can't see the black and then that little white thing, Hemmy.
Oh, that white, the white thing. Could be a doorknob.
Okay, there's a close-up on the next photo.
Okay,
let's have a look.
Oh, wrong way.
Nope.
Oh. There we go.
Ooh.
It
goes to Barry Price, isn't it?
When he lobbed.
Yeah.
Well, Price hailed this as poltergeist activity. The ghosts of Borley Rectory were still active. He went on to publish the photo in various books about his paranormal investigations.
Oh, hold on a second, Dom. While I'm having a look, did you know there's a Battersea poltergeist that Harry Price investigated?
I knew there was a Battersea poltergeist, but isn't that more contemporary? Did Harry Price investigate that one as well? I thought it was more contemporary.
That's come up before, hasn't it?
If it's around the war, then he would have. But
48, he died, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Harry Price described the particulars of the Battersea case and his involvement in it in his penultimate book, Poltergeist Over England, Country Life, 1945.
There's also a Northumberland poltergeist as well.
What, that he investigated?
I'm not sure if he did, but I do know there's a famous one like the Enfield and the Battersea cases. Also, there's one in Northumberland, which again probably similar. But yeah, we can cover it one week.
Yeah. Confirmed. Bricks have souls.
Bricks have souls. I told you it's Harry Price. Then one last fucking prank on everyone.
Yeah, a fishing rod and a brick. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, so he went on to publish the photo in various books about his paranormal investigations and bang on about it. During the rectory visit where the brick photo was taken, Price was also accompanied by journalist Cynthia Ledsham. Some years later, Ledsham said of the incident, "I had first-hand experience of the most barefaced hocus-pocus on the part of the late Harry Price. In April 1944, Mr. David Sherman and I were escorted down to Borley by Harry Price. Mr. Price's version of what occurred appeared on page 284 of his book, At the End of Borley Rectory. It refers to a mysterious flying brick photographed by Sherman. As Mr. Price pointed out, there was no strings, no wire attached. What he failed to mention is there was a brawny workman still at work behind the wall. All three of us saw him as we passed the house towards the spot where the photograph was taken. No doubt at all that the flying bricks, several of which came out at regular intervals, were propelled by this workman as part of his demolition work." So there you go.
So it wasn't Harry Price; it was the workman after all.
So he threw a brick at the same time as the photo was taken.
Yeah. Price making something out of nothing again.
Ugh.
The cunt, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Teaching NASA how to do their job properly.
Yes.
I reckon Harry Price playing one last prank from the other side before he was dead. From the other side of that doorway.
So the evidence from Borley becomes even more disappointing. So
anyway, next up, there's a real corker next up.
Oh, I've just put it up. Sorry.
Oh my
Dropped
God.
the gun.
This one. Yeah, I remember this one as well.
That's
Okay,
a blinder.
this is the case of the bungee jumping black man photobomb incident. Sorry, or as it's more commonly known, Cooper falling body photograph.
Cooper falling body photograph. What, the DB Cooper falling body photograph?
I prefer the name Black Men Can Hang.
Anywho,
did the ghost say it couldn't breathe?
Sometime in the 1950s, the Cooper family of Texas bought an old house and moved into it. Their first night there, the father took a photo and grandma posing with 2 kids at the dining room table. Everyone was happy and smiling. They were living the American dream. When the photo was developed, the family saw to their horror what looked like a body falling or hanging from the ceiling had materialised behind them. It hadn't been there when the father took the photo. Where had it come from? An apparition of a deceased former tenant of the house? No one knew.
Did he try and hang himself by the ankles to kill himself? That's going to take a long while. Wait for all the blood to rush to your head, isn't it? Fucking hell.
But that ghost was popular with the women, as it was well hung.
Is that how an Irishman tops himself? Is it hanging himself by the ankles?
Anyway, the origin of the photo was not clear.
Yeah,
I've
got the explanation. It's just smoke off the candle. That's all it is.
Yeah. Paragola.
Honest.
My nan had a ghost photo. It was like a family photo in the kitchen. There was like this weird black smoke all over it, like a line of like squiggly line of black smoke all over it. It was a bit weird.
Was someone smoking a cigar in the room at the time?
No, it was like a weird like artifact on the photo. It was really odd.
Weird.
Anyway, so this one had been doing rounds on the internet for years, and in 2015, a guy named Robert Copper came forward and said the following: when my older brother sent me this picture, I was floored. Here are the 2 boys in the photo, which was taken in 1959. I have many pictures like this, but not this one. My mother had a habit of throwing away pictures that she didn't like. Usually the ones that she kept were passed along to me. What annoys me is that somebody got hold of a family photograph. The story is almost entirely fiction. Our last name is Copper, not Cooper. Does anyone know who did this? He provided another photo of him and his brother taken at the same time, that the images could be compared. So we can have a look.
Well, he could have gone for the Kevin Spacey defence. I'm gay, couldn't he? I'm gay. It's not me.
Yeah, it's basically he.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's 2 candles, not 3. The kid's got his head facing in a different direction. Definitely, definitely the same people, isn't it?
It's 4 candles,
without doubt. 4 candles.
It's 4 candles.
Dinner's ready, Missy. Says nothing. Dimensional Lizard says they look proud of themselves after killing that innocent black man. No, look how closely cropped that teacup is. I mean, this is bullshit, isn't it?
Well, the features that match are the drapes. You can see. A small portion.
Do they? There's no pattern on that wallpaper. I mean, notice as well that they've cropped out the tablecloth, the thing that could have clinched it.
There is a bit there if you look closely at the
you can kind of see it. Yeah,
small portion.
An elbow.
Yeah, they've cropped a lot of it out, which tells me bullshit.
There's the
and then
candlesticks.
That cup is so closely cropped, and also you can't see the candlestick holders on the candles.
For one, who the fuck has matching tablecloth and fucking wallpaper?
It was the 1950s.
It's not. That's a different pattern, isn't it? That's a completely different pattern.
They're both pink. They're both pink. That is a crime against fashion or fucking feng shui, for fuck's sake.
No, that
Could have been a shit camera.
No, that's not the pattern. It's shit all over the picture. You look closely at the picture of the kid's shoulder. There's shit all over the picture.
Maybe he was the brown lady then.
Yeah, he did the brown noise.
Maybe the photo was colorized afterwards. They did a shit job of it.
Yeah.
The kids are definitely the same, though, aren't they?
No.
Yeah.
Like, anyway, very similar. Anyway.
That one on the right, I don't think so.
Yeah.
His head's a different shape, and his hair. No, I'm calling bullshit on this one.
Yeah. Anyway, soon find out. Go for it.
And besides their red candles, they're obviously white candles on the other picture.
Anyway, we all agree that two photos match and it's all authentic.
No.
Still does not debunk falling man.
Yeah.
General theory is that the ghost is of a supermodel. A superimposed image of a ballerina that has been inverted. Compare such an image and make up our minds. If you have a look at the next picture, please.
Is that Britney Spears? The one on the left, is that Britney Spears from South Park? She had the top of her head blown off. That's not even a ballerina anyway. It's that Dippy Bird out of My Fair Lady.
You know what that looks like now? Now that it's kind of like put up the right way, it looks like a testicle. It looks like a testicle, like the ball sack. Like is someone. Is that what that was?
Like an NPC from an early 2000s.
So he wasn't hanging upside down.
Is that an Argonian? That's an Argonian, isn't it? That's from fucking Elder Scrolls.
So he wasn't hanging upside down then. He just had a split in his trousers.
He popped out at the side.
Yeah.
He was wearing some 80s shorts.
Now, what's her name out of Breakfast at Tiffany's? That's who that picture is on the right, isn't it?
Aubrey. That's it.
That'll do. Audrey Hepburn, that's one.
Hepburn, yeah.
Lusty Argonian maid. Yeah, we've solved it, guys.
Well, anyway. So there's the evidence. We've got to make up our mind now.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Lusty Argonian maid.
Yeah, so it wasn't not a real ghost falling out of the sky. It's a shame.
It's just one of those pesky Argonian photo bombers.
Damn Black Marsh. We'll get the Empire to invade.
Looks like E.T.
Anyway, let's go on to the next one, Adam. Let's see what we got.
Right, looks like George Floyd.
George Floyd. Can't breathe. Anyway. I can't breathe. That's because you're dead. You're a ghost.
Next one is the backdoor ghost. Sorry, the backseat ghost. 1959. On March the 22nd, in the town of Ipswich, Mrs. Mabel and her husband drove to the graveyard in which her mother, Mrs. Ellen Hamill, had been buried.
And they had the ghost of Tom Cruise in his car years before he died, or was even born.
Tom Cruise is an immortal, though, isn't he? So he's not even dead.
There can only be one Tom Cruise.
Right, so yeah, he's out there doing his Minority Report shit. For the fucking call them Scientologists.
Right, I'll be back in a sec.
Where was I? Yeah, the town of Ipswich, Mrs. Mabel and her husband drove to the graveyard in which her mother, Mrs. Ellen Hamill, had been buried. It died a week earlier, and the couple went to take some photos of the grave. As Mrs. Chinnery returned to the car, she decided to take her last remaining shot of her husband, who was waiting in the vehicle. When the pictures were developed, one of Mrs. Chinnery's friends pointed out that Mrs. Hamill appeared to be in the back seat of the car, behind Mrs. Chinnery's husband.
There it is there. Looks a bit like Fred West, the driver, doesn't it?
I mean,
That kind of squashed face.
Yeah. It's like
when you
a
can't,
cock-
when you
New
can't even
anchor.
escape the mother-in-law in death, you know.
And
Mm.
actually, if there's a dead woman in the car, then it is quite likely to be Fred West, isn't it?
Either she's in negative or
Mm.
she's an Oompa Loompa.
She's got glowing eyes, though, eh?
Well,
Got
yeah.
sunglasses on,
Very
isn't she?
peculiar.
Or
They're
their
like-
eyebrows.
Oompa Loompa eyebrows.
Wow, plumper eyebrows.
Or those things you wear, those things you
Oh,
wear
they
on
look
your
like,
eyes when
they
you go
look
on a
like
sunbed.
sunglasses to me, or glasses.
Well, she was
Or
pretty
like,
cool.
or the-
She was a cool cat, wasn't she? The mother.
all those things of They Live.
Oh yeah, one of the
Right.
aliens.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, could be.
Contact lenses.
Anyway, in an interview some years after the photo was taken, Mr. Chinnery said that his mother-in-law specifically liked to sit in that seat when she was in the car. That the last dying words that she said to him were, "You'll never come to any harm, because I'll still be with you."
And that's a nice
Aw.
thing. That's a nice thing to say by his mother-in-law.
Yeah, so let's have a look at her when she was alive. Next photo, please.
She don't look a bit like Tom Cruise. Fucking hell, she looks like a geezer in drag. Hey, look at those fucking hands. Look at those fucking hands. Was she a navvy?
Looks like Rod Hull crossed with Andre the Giant.
Old witch.
Look at her fucking hands. They're massive.
Boris Johnson's great-great-granddad.
Yeah.
She's got an Adam's apple.
Yeah. She's got Adam's fucking orchard, isn't she?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
On the,
Don't make women like they used to, eh?
There's plenty of those today, isn't there?
Mm.
It's all the rage now, isn't it?
Where was this taken? 1930s Weimar.
it was rough back then.
Jesus.
Radiation and shit.
You know. Rippling muscles, big tashes, and you should have seen the men back in those days.
Is this the effect of mustard gas?
Off license said she looks like Sergeant Wilson from Dad's Army.
Look at the fucking beak on it.
Yeah, well, that's the first thing. Like, she's got a massive bulbous nose, and that
Yeah.
one in the picture looked like Dennis Nielsen, didn't it?
Got a man's watch on, a big watch.
Yeah, big.
Diver's watch.
Fucking, is that Bobby George's mum? Is it?
It's like Jimmy Savile in his 20s.
Now then, how's about that then? I'm going to be a ghost for you tonight.
Under closer examination, experts have suggested that the photo is in fact a double exposure. Can you have a look?
Oh, I thought you were going to say.
close-up?
I thought you were going to say experts have suggested his mother is actually his father.
Or it's
If my auntie had bollocks, she'd be my uncle.
Yeah.
Tommy
Anyway, let's look at
Cooper
this.
on a good day.
Let's have a look at a close-up of it, though. Let's see if we can work
Yeah.
out this mystery. Because we're also here to solve mysteries as well as to investigate them. A bit like Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Go on then.
Yeah,
See the next photo.
Next slot, oh God.
Yeah, we can see a close-up. That old boot.
Well, no, it's definitely got the nose. The nose is definitely
Yeah.
there.
I don't think
It's
so. That
like-
looks more like a thin nose. Looks more like Pee Wee Herman.
Nah,
it's
you
getting
can see
closer
the
in.
nose.
As They Live meets Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Though they do like they've lost their hair. That is one thing
reminds me of Red
involved.
Dwarf. I didn't notice his wife. I thought it was a publicity shot from Planet of the Apes.
Anyway, go on.
It's been pointed out that the white collar of the figure seems to overlap the door frame. And also marks on the area between the two windows may show the back of the chair the double exposed figure has sat on.
Are you waiting for the next photo?
No, not yet. No,
right.
No, double exposure or not, this is one of the most famous ghost photos. The mother's glowing eyes give it an extra creepy factor.
It's sunglasses. He's got his mate in the back of the car. It's fucking sunglasses. Jesus Christ. They're making something out of this one, aren't they?
I can't see the double exposure bits that they're on about, though.
There's no double exposure evidence whatsoever, is there?
There is some white sort of markings on that. If you look at the sort of the column in between the two windows, there is sort of some faint.
Yeah, but you don't know whether that window is up or down, do you?
Yeah, but anyway, so
the
old bitch was dead. So
to me, it looks like they've just taken an old picture and they've made a story up around it.
Yeah,
isn't that the dude from Ghostbusters 2?
What's his name? The one in the painting, you mean?
Yeah.
The one with all the women in. We're not allowed to say we don't like.
No, not the remake.
That one.
Not the woke busters.
That's the best one. That is. That's better than the original. That is right.
The woke. Vigo the Carpathian, says Sped West. You always get it in the chat, don't you, when you say something? The chat always pick it up, don't they?
Anyway, okay. Let's move on to the next picture then, and we'll sort of some more analysis.
This is quite a famous one, isn't it?
It is a famous one. The Specter of Newbie Church. So, in 1963, Reverend K.F. Lord was taking pictures of the interior of Newbie Church in North Yorkshire.
I want to talk about that altar. I mean, what's that all about? It looks like Lamarche Man's box from fucking Hellraiser, doesn't it? The fucking inlay on that altar, Jesus.
Yeah. It's a fucking state. Anyway, he was particularly fond of the church altar, so he took a picture of this. After he had the picture developed, he was shocked to see a semi-transparent figure with a semi appearing in the photo, and we can see there.
With a semi?
Yeah, he's got a semi. So.
Maybe he's the ghost of all the altar boys that have been pressed up against that altar.
No.
The figure seemed to be standing on the first step of the altar, but towered higher than it. It was completely cloaked in a black robe, where its feet were supposed to be. There was no suggestion of any hands, and the face was covered with some form of white sheet.
This to me looks like classic double exposure, doesn't it?
Two depressions where the eyes would be. So
no, it's not. His hands are there. It's on his face. He's like doing the shocked thing, isn't he? He's like he's been caught out. He's been caught out, you know.
Yeah, it's the screen painting.
Yeah,
a monk. Isn't it? Is it monk?
Yeah.
Is that
someone called him wanking?
Van Gogh wants his fucking screaming man back, doesn't he?
Go to the next picture. We can see more of a zoomed in shot, so we can assess it.
No, I think he's got arms folded. To be honest.
No, I think there is hands on his face. I
think he's got. I think he's got like a white. He's got like a white thing over his face with eye holes cut in, like a sacco, like a pillowcase.
Like a Home Alone pose.
Yeah. Oh.
Thought his hands.
It looks to me like he's got a pillowcase over his face and like a black sheet over him, and
probably wanking.
Yeah.
In pocket billiards.
Got a 147 break.
There we go. See, there's a close up of the figure there. So In relation to the altar, it can be estimated that the figure was at least 9 feet tall. The figure was looking directly at the
9
camera.
feet tall.
Yes, it was a big one. So
Confirmed.
Reverend Lord was confused by the image. He was completely alone in the church at the time, and the church had no history of paranormal activity, which is unusual for a church, because usually there's ghost stories. Obviously, the idea of the photo being a fake itself came under attack. Lord felt annoyed by this, as he was an honest reverend with no sexual interest in children, unlike many other men of the cloth. The picture was eventually sent away for expert analysis, and scientists of the period believed the photo had not been tampered with and was assumed to be genuine. So, yeah. Creepy picture, isn't it? Anyway, and all the same.
That one, my gut feeling has always said it's a fake. That's
but
in all
it's
my
either
years
real.
of seeing that photo, I've always thought it's been a fake.
Yeah. It's either real or a fake, isn't it? So a bit like the Bigfoot film, it's one or the other. And if it's not a fake, then what is it?
What do you think? What should we do? Go around everybody. What does everyone think? Fake or real? This one.
Go in fake myself because
Yeah.
I don't really believe in ghosts.
Yeah. Dom,
I'm open for persuasion. Do you think, Dom, or are you?
is he inebriated now?
I hope not, because he's got to do some more. Dom,
Well, I definitely think it's.
you think it's a fake?
I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know. Again,
Interesting.
yeah, if it's a double exposure, then yeah, definitely, because there's a lot of that going around.
Yeah, it just looks like a classic
But
double exposure to me.
If they've got the original and they say it hasn't been tampered with, then yeah.
When they say
Well,
tampered,
anyway.
do they know if it's been double exposed? Is that something they can see?
I think with modern technology, you could see if a picture.
Yeah, but this is like
exposed.
80s, isn't it? This picture's been going around.
60s.
Yeah, this has been going around for years, hasn't it? This one.
Rick Burden, founder of the Ghost Hunters Association of Australia, believes that it's probably a fake and points out that it resembles many other double exposure hoaxes. Photographer and pain in the arse, Matthew Stern, he's back again, recreated this photo using the double exposure technique. Let's have a look at what we think. So Matthew Stern is back with his double exposures. Go to the next.
Oh God, not him. He's such an Instagram whore, isn't he?
Deserves a slap, this guy, doesn't he? He's ruining everything.
TikTok, I mean.
But go on to the next photo. We'll
see that to me looks exactly like that picture to me.
Yeah, I mean.
So there we are. If you go to the next picture, we can see them side by side and see how similar they are.
Yeah. So I'll give him that one.
The actual. Yeah, so
9 feet tall. Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. See, but even so.
But then that breaks the question. Okay, if that is a man in a gown, right?
Yeah.
How they managed to get him 9 feet tall? Like, there's no.
It could be a long gown, and he could be stood on a box.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
It does kind of look like that gown is sat on the steps if you look at the bottom step.
It's quite clever.
Down, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it looks flat, doesn't it? It looks flat. It doesn't look like it. Yeah.
Right.
Anyway,
because it's made of ectogism and it's flowing down the step.
That's why he had a semi, isn't it? Because
yeah.
Well, yeah. Actually, now you mention it, it looks like where the shadow of the actual photo is.
Some pre-cum.
It's like a puddle, isn't it? It's a puddle, and then it drips down on the previous step. Weird.
If you look at the faked photo, it does look like someone's just shot their load in his face. It's all like a plasterer's radio. But anyway. So yeah. Anyway, Dom, you disappeared. Then we asked you if you had believed this was real.
You what?
Do you think this is a
real
ghost?
or fake, Dom? It's a binary question. It should be quite easy for you, mate.
Yeah, sorry, I was having a piss. Fake.
The fake. So we all voted for
Yeah,
fake.
we all think it's
Someone
fake.
is on
Yeah,
the fence.
there's something a bit too high quality about the image of the ghost. I think is what puts me off.
I wish I'd thought of this with one of the earlier photos, one of the Jeff photos. So it's a bit late now, but we could have said, do you think it's fake or are you on the fence?
The Jeff ones are dodgy.
You on the fence? You on the fence though with the Jeff one?
You
on the fence.
On the fence.
Yeah.
Too late though. I thought of it just now. Anyway, all right then. Let's move on. Because So let's go on to the next picture if you could. Let's have a look at this. Yeah. Okay, this is a nice, nice retreat.
Oh, we got a colour one. This should be a bit interesting.
Yeah. So, Queen's House in Greenwich, London, was commissioned in 1616 and stands beside the National Maritime Museum. Over the years, the house has gained a reputation for being haunted. Staff members have reported phantom footsteps, touches, and even ghostly singing. 1960s.
That's a smart mansion. What my anus looks like on OnlyFans.
Yeah. My anus looks nothing like that. But anyway, so in 1966, Reverend Ralph Hardy photographed the staircase of the house during a trip to the museum. So let's have a look at the photo he took of the staircase. Go to the next picture, if you will, please. And we'll have a look and see. Look at his picture there. There you go.
What are they doing on the other side of the stack? Are they walking? What's going on with that? Are they in MC Escher's house? Are they?
No, they're in that.
I can't work out how that staircase works.
It looks like a painting.
Yeah. It looks like like you say, it looks like an MC Escher painting. You know those ones with the weird fucking stairs.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, those stairs are so fucking steep by the end of that banister there at the top.
He took that from below, so he's actually looking from the underside. The underside.
Sorry,
yeah.
Are they ghosts of people who've fallen down the stairs because they're so steep?
Yeah, and they're pissed at the times. The time when Hardy took the photo, he noticed nothing unusual. However, when the photo was developed, a ghostly robed figure can be seen on the staircase holding onto the banister. Photographic experts examined the negative and found no signs of tampering and no signs of double exposure, which is unusual.
Did they find any evidence of where the fuck the stairs are?
So what you see in the picture is the blurry image of a person or
exactly.
a real ghost.
What the fuck is that? I've got no idea, mate. I can't tell where the stairs are and the banister are. It could be either way.
You can tell where the stairs are, right? It is confusing. It does look weird because it kind of goes straight up.
If you look at it one way, it looks like the stairs are that side, but if you look at it another way, it looks like the stairs are this side.
Yeah. It's like those fucking paintings that are
like a Dali painting, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're looking at the underside of the stairs, so you're looking up. Yeah. So the stairs are on the other side of the banister as you look at it.
How did it get so steep? Like, who the fuck would build stairs that go vertical like that?
That's what I mean. It doesn't make sense, does it? It's like I can't figure out one way or the other which you know, are they this side of the banister or the other side of the banister?
You're not supposed to be looking at the stairs anyway. You're supposed to be looking at the eerie figure.
Yeah.
There's definitely like a woman giving a bloke a blowy. He's got like all light and shit around his head.
Well, it's two people, isn't it? It's not one. It's not one ghost because fucking there's two sets of. Two sets of hands,
two sets of hands on there.
I think ghosts can fuck each other.
Well, they could in real life, so maybe they're doing it in the afterlife.
Yeah, they're just gonna get
Uno says he worked there. He said he looked for ghosts, didn't find them. The Great Hall is good.
In May 2002, gallery assistant Tony Anderson, who, along with two other colleagues, encountered the Queen's House ghost and said the following: "Something caught my eye. I thought at first it was a girl who did the talks at the weekends, then realised the woman had just glided across the balcony and went through the wall." The lady was dressed in a white grey coloured old-fashioned dress. So, not just photos, but also eyewitnesses for this ghost as well. So, peculiar. But it's definitely an image and not a double exposure. So, what could it be?
It just kind of looks like some sort of painting, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it is a photo. I think it's just because this. What year was this taken? Was it the 60s? So, 1966. So
I can't.
Photos were
I like
still
to
a
be
bit
able to
shit in
figure
those
out
days.
the scene and then work it out. But like those stairs, I just can't get my head around it to figure it out whether I believe it and its place in the scene. So
could be a simulation theory. Could be an NPC from a previous save.
Yeah. It's like
Very
whatever's happened to this load, it hasn't worked because those stairs are fucked. Someone needs to turn the computer off and on again and make those stairs sort of something. Because those stairs don't go steep like that. Has he used a fisheye lens or something?
Yeah, the first recorded evidence of fisheye. Yeah, that's the only thing that explain it, right? It must be a fisheye, right?
Yeah, what's happening to those stairs?
That's the spooky part here, not the people. It's the fucking stairs.
Yeah, it's like what does that stair? I want to see a zoomed out picture of those stairs and what they actually look like, so I can figure out what the hell's going on there.
Can we actually get the stairs from the actual building?
Could be a porthole. It could be a wormhole, a porthole, glory hole. Could be something like that into a different dimension.
I mean, no wonder they died if they tried to go up those stairs. It's fucking.
Anyway, all right then. Well, that's that one. Let's move on to the next one. What we'll do is look at the Amityville Ghost Boy. So let's go to the next picture. And
they've done an extension on it. Or is the one from the films a different thing?
Because it kind of looks like haunted house in America.
This is the real house, and it has been on the
market.
Well,
actually, I watched a podcast. I watched a podcast with the Sun, and the Sun said that the reason the following family wasn't haunted was because George Lutz was doing Ouija boards, and it followed them to the next house.
Oh yeah, don't ever touch those things. By the way,
yeah, that's really stupid. Anyway. Yeah. In the early hours of November the 13th, 1974, Ronald Defoe Jr. shot and killed 6 members of his family.
Have you ever seen any of the interviews with Butch? He's a weird fella, isn't he?
Yeah. He's dead now. But
is he? Yeah. When did he die? Then?
I think he died last year. So he killed 6 members of his family at 112 Ocean Avenue, a large Dutch colonial house situated in Amityville, on the south shore of Long Island. So that's the house there. Defoe was sentenced to life imprisonment after the murders and died in custody in March 2021. So yeah, he died quite recently. So
I think the original murder is like far more interesting than the subsequent haunting, because how the fuck did Butch kill all of those people with a shotgun?
Yeah.
Because that would have been going bang, 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 wouldn't it? And most of them didn't even get out of bed. Because isn't the working theory that he did it with his sister and then shot his sister?
There's some mystery about it, yeah. But we'll never know, as he's dead now. Maybe he drugged them.
And he weren't exactly coherent when he was on this earth, was he?
Yeah. A retard. But anyway.
Yeah.
In the years after the murder, residents of the house have reported supernatural occurrences and ghostly goings-on. These included poltergeist activity, cold spots, mystery voices, and a phantom pig.
And the keys going missing.
Yep, and the windowsill smashes down on your hands and stuff like that.
Flies on the vicar.
Selling book called The Amityville Horror and the Hauntings gained world fame.
Oh, also the Sun said George Lutz said to him, "No, you don't need to read that book, mate. Don't worry about it." Apparently George Lutz took all the money from the book, never give any to any of the other family members.
He did make quite a bit of money out of it.
Did he actually make the money, or was it the author of the book? Because he didn't write the book, did he?
They were in it. No, they did get they did. Someone else did write it, but I know Lutz made a fair bit out of it.
Yeah.
They've got a franchise deal like books and films and all sorts
Wasn't exactly
of shit.
scared of cashing in on it.
Do you remember Amityville, the TV series that was nothing to do with the fucking thing, with the house at all?
Yeah, I remember something about that.
Was that one where they were chasing haunted objects all through Europe? Was that what it was about? It wasn't even like in America.
No, it seemed... Was it the one that kind of shifted and changed every series or something? I can't remember.
The Twilight Zone.
I don't know.
But anyway, a number of films were then made based on the case. These included The Amityville Horror, Amityville 2, The Possession, Amityville 3D, and there was even a porno made called Analtyville Horror, a backdoor possession. There was.
I think two genuinely creeped me out because that was really like because that was quite like The Exorcist, weren't it? Because he got possessed, didn't he?
Anyway,
the Butch character.
Although the line between fact and fiction has become blurry surrounding the hauntings, a number of paranormal investigations have taken place over the years. One such investigation took place in 1976. An infrared camera was placed on the second-story landing of the house, which would snap photos periodically during certain times of the night. So let's have a look at one of the photos that it took. Go to the next picture. Let's have a look and see.
Dun, dun.
Oh, look at that. Shit you up. Eh? So anyway, photo shows what appears to be a small male child, possibly the spirit of John Daniel Defoe, who was 9 years old when his older brother shot him to death. Skeptics think that the photo shows Paul Bartz, an investigator who was there that night. Bartz was wearing a similar shirt to the one the boy is wearing in the picture. So let's just look at that. If you look through the banister, you can see some kind of pattern on the boy's picture there. So to go to the next picture, we'll look at a photo of Bartz compared with the boy in the picture. Go to the next photo. There you go. See, so that's they're the same person.
No, because that kid's got like a side part in, hasn't he? Whereas he's got like
pudding bowl.
Whatever the fuck's going on is.
Yeah. For this to be true, Bartz would have had to be. So basically, so for this, Bart would have to be on his knees or crouching down because the height of the ominous face in comparison with the doorway and the banister would make it about 4 feet tall, because obviously Bart's was quite big.
That's not even. That is a check shirt, but it's not even the same pattern. I think they're reaching a bit here.
Yeah, it's too dark as well.
So you think it could be a real ghost in the picture? Bart's has never gone on to record to confirm or deny that it's him in the photo, so it remains a mystery. So yeah, a creepy picture, eh? Could it be the ghost of one of the boys who was shot that night?
Ooh.
I'll never know, but it's got glowing eyes, a bit like the woman in the back of the taxi.
True.
Yeah. Yeah, strange. Plus it comes from the most haunted house in the world. Now that Borley Rectory is burnt down, the Amityville is the most haunted house.
Conspiracy.
Yeah. Julia. We'll have to decide anyway.
Are you saying the Yanks burnt down Borley Rectory? Is that what you're saying?
Well, they were both nice houses, weren't they? But the Amity one's worth a few quid. But anyway, we'll go over to Dom.
Borley Rectory would be worth a few quid. It's in Essex, isn't it?
It's a bit remote, though.
Well, hang on. Who collects statistics on what is the most haunted? And is there like a kind of
Yeah.
Has Harry Bryce been there? Did he have a pocket full of pebbles? You have to ask questions like this, don't you?
Should be like an internet, like like a fantasy football league, most haunted houses.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, over to you, Dom. We're going to.
Anyway, I'm going to talk about what Samuel L. Jackson would refer to as the ghost pilot motherfucker. Yes, it's the ghost pilot. In 1987, Mrs. Sawyer some friends visited Fleet Air Station at Yelverton, Somerset. During her visit, she took the opportunity to have a photo taken in the cockpit of a helicopter used in the Falklands War. If we can have a look at the photo, please.
Let's have a look. Right.
Da, da,
Ooh.
da.
Look at that. Showing a bit
Strange.
of ankle as well.
She's got a firm grip on that dildo as well, hasn't she? She's got it with both hands. It's got quite a girth on it.
She ain't messing
Must
around,
been
is she?
That must be one of
She knows
one she
what
got.
she's doing.
She must have got that off Jill Dando.
Jan Dildo.
Yeah. Jill Dando's haunted dildo. The pages of Viz.
Anyway, as we can see, there's a phantom pilot sat next to Mrs. Sawyer.
Is there?
Yeah.
Or
Definitely a figure there.
or a nephew or grandson or something.
Did you
Wait.
see her?
I can't see it. I can't.
You can kind of
actually
see a shirt, and you can kind of see a shirt.
white thing. Is that
Yeah,
meant to
in
be
the other
pilot?
seat. In the other seat,
Yeah,
you can
right.
see a guy in a white shirt.
I thought, is it just a reflection? But then I thought I got a
Yeah.
sense that looks like a Cuban man skinning up. No. Yeah,
Literally,
80s
could be
footballer
a
haircut.
grandson or anything. We need some proof that she was alone in that thing, don't we?
I don't know. It looks like a really shitty old photo and
Yeah.
overexposed and everything, but she still looks photoshopped in. Weird.
Well, look at all the artifacting and stuff on the photos. Like it looks like a photocopied photo, doesn't it? Like this, how many generations down is this photo?
It's a photocopy. With a
Yeah.
photocopy that fucking got in the wash and.
Looks
Um,
like it could be a reflection.
Or she
couldn't it?
printed out. Looking at all those dots and things, I think she probably printed it out, then scanned it.
I remember when I was 12 years old, a friend of mine, a photograph, Kodak photograph kind of thing, and of him, like he was into fishing. He caught a fish, and he'd cut out a fish from a fishing magazine.
Yeah.
Stuck it onto the photo and photocopied it and showed me the photo, and I was taken in by it.
Dom thinks all of these photos are real.
That has happened recently, though, where people have had cardboard cutouts of big fish and made out that they've had their photo taken with them and made out that they've broken the record when it's just a cardboard cutout.
This big said the one-armed fisherman.
Yeah, go on. Anyway, let's move on with this case.
I need some citation that she was there on her own. That could
Okay,
easily be her husband or grandson or something, and it's just a completely made-up story, couldn't it?
Well, she insists there was no one sat next to her, but she remembers feeling rather cold.
Yeah.
Which is unusual, as it was a hot
Right.
day.
Which was
She's like 80
unusual as
years
she was
old.
in the shade.
Yeah. The pictures taken on the same day did not come out.
If it was a hot day, she's got a fucking coat on there, though, hasn't she? Look, it's not dressed for hot weather.
I would have thought she'd be feeling a bit flushed or anything. The way she's grabbing onto that two-handed dildo.
Oh yeah, she would be hot. Feeling that up.
I mean, can you even say that it's definitely a helicopter she's in? It's like I couldn't even say it was definitely she was in a helicopter she's in.
Really, like a ride at the arcade.
Yeah, the afterburner ride in the arcade.
Yeah, it could be a truck, right? Fucking.
Yeah.
Couldn't it?
I think it is because it looks like split screen and you can see the screen going round. But there's no reason to believe that that's not her husband or something.
Or just a reflection on the glass.
Yeah.
Someone stood in front.
It looks like someone sat there, but who it is, like I've got no idea. I can't say that it is or isn't a ghost.
Well, off license it says it's Prince Andrew. He flew in the Falklands, but clearly not because she's about 80.
Well, it was a hot day and he weren't sweat. It was a hot day.
If she was
sweating.
If she was at the other end of the spectrum, he'd be sat there, wouldn't he?
That windscreen wiper.
Yeah.
Is that Airwolf?
It's a Airwolf.
Anyway.
Has Ernest Borgnine had a sex change?
Anywho's, though the helicopter was used in the Falklands, there was no information as to whether or not a pilot
they used a black
died in the
helicopter,
aircraft.
a black helicopter with yellow stripes on it in the Falklands, did they?
Well, yeah, the mystery remains unsolved.
Yeah, the mystery remains unsolved. Is it her grandson or her husband sat in the seat next to her? That's my take.
Another
on
one.
it anyway.
Another one for the undecided.
Oh, look at Sped West spreading like bad information. It's Pizza Express he went to, Sped. Taken just for the trip to Pizza Hut. It was a Pizza Express in Woking, weren't it?
Pizza Express on Pedo Island.
On Pedo Island.
Pedo Express.
Pedo Express.
Anyway.
Yeah, I've got to go to this Pizza Express in Woking.
Yeah. Should we do an episode from the Pizza Express in Woking?
We could do a Ouija board. We could do a Ouija board there, couldn't we?
Oh, fuck off.
See if Epstein contacts us. Give Andrew this advice.
Yeah, we could try and contact Epstein on the Ouija board.
Well, Epstein didn't kill himself, so we can't contact him yet, can we?
What about who else?
About McAfee.
What's his dad called? Prince Philip. We could contact him.
Yeah, Prince Philip.
Just
Spill the
please,
beans.
guys. You guys
Anyway.
get possessed. Don't come crying at me, alright? Fucking...
Too late. It's too late. We did it, and we got to do it again. We're going to do it at Borley Rectory. So I'm going to bring it. I've lost it actually. Where's it gone?
Thank
I was
God.
looking for my Ouija board actually the other day.
Oh shit! Whoa! It's possessed. It's running.
Make one.
Oh dear.
Anyway, all right. Let's move on.
Yeah.
We're on the home straight of this. Go on, Dom. Let's go to the next case.
Oh look! There's a
one
girl
is-
standing on a banner, standing on a walkway.
There that is.
It's the Wem ghost girl.
Or girl standing on something.
Shit me up, that does.
Pizza Express is halal, by the way. They're proudly halal. I didn't know people knew this. I don't know how you slit a pineapple's throat, but there you go.
Wait, go on.
Oh, hello, ding dong. The 19th of November 1995, when Town Hall in the market town of Wem, Shropshire.
Is that Albion Market? Is it? Are we going full circle? Is this from Albion Market?
It was destroyed by a fire, and it was later rebuilt at Albion Market.
Yeah.
As a fire-raged amateur photographer and sicko, Tony O'Rahilly decided to take a photo of the blaze. There's a photo on the screen.
Strange.
What can you see there?
Yeah, I can see the flames now you mentioned it's a fire.
Photo appears to show the figure of a young girl stood in a doorway of the blazing building.
She don't look that
Some
bothered, does she?
railings. The figure is said to be the ghost of a 14-year-old girl named Jane Chum. Is that Chum? No, Churn. Who allegedly started another disastrous fire.
Did she get food poisoning in a Pizza Express in Woking?
Accident in Wem in 1677 when she set alight the thatch of her cottage with a candle. You bitch.
Fucking idiot.
That's a new craze on TikTok. Setting alight the thatch of your cottage. Initially, the picture was hailed as a genuine photograph of an apparition. Doubters couldn't find a definitive explanation to the image. And we can have a closer look on the next picture.
Some zoom ins. Let's have a look, and we can see if we can recognise the face of the girl.
Let's have a look. Who is it?
Yeah.
Who is that girl now?
Recognise.
Where is that girl now? She's here in the studio, Graham. She's here in the studio, Graham.
One of the actresses from Albion Market.
Yeah. just it's haunting the place because her career died.
It's the wheelchair girl from El Dorado.
Yeah, that's the wheelchair. Do you remember that one when they did the fire drill on The Office and they left her halfway up the stairs?
The cheese man from Blur.
Oh, yeah, Alex Jones. Isn't it?
Anyway, all right, Dom, go on. Let's see how the case is doing.
Sometime after the image was taken, an explanation was put forward by Brian Lear, 77, who was in possession of a postcard of Wen High Street from 1922. Let's have a look at the postcard.
So, next image.
The fuck? There's something gone wrong with this image.
That.
I think the image is too small.
Did I just get diabetes and go blind or something?
It's a pixel. That's a tad pixelated, lads. That picture ain't working.
Well,
okay. Well,
it's a bit shit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's pretend we can see it.
Okay.
Tell us what we're looking at.
So we can clearly see on the left of the photo.
Yeah. That picture. I've just opened it up in another app, and that picture is tiny. It's absolutely tiny.
That's that fact.
Yeah. Anyway, as you can clearly see on the left of the photo.
Clearly, as you can clearly see at the left of that photo.
Anyway, the thing on the left of the photo that looks like a Mario from the original version or something. it clearly looks like a similar girl to the ghost in the fire. Mr. Lear said it is interesting to compare these two pictures. I was intrigued to find that she bore a striking resemblance to the girl featured as the Wem ghost. So we can compare the two images in the next photo, and hopefully this one.
Come on, this is
better.
Oh right, okay.
Oh wait, that's much better.
There we go. So it looks the same, doesn't it?
Yeah. What the fuck has
So
she got on her? She got a pineapple on her head. What the fuck has she got on her head?
Old rag.
Well, the hair colour's not the same.
The hair
brightness of the fire is the brightness of the fire is blurring out the.
Yeah, but you can see if you look at the line of her hair on the one on the left, you can see that's the bit. Those are the bits from the hat, aren't they?
There's also that collar thing going down the front.
There's the and there's the line across. You know the shadow across the middle. You know where the pleats are. You can see that as well. Yeah, I'm
say it's someone's just superimposed that onto it.
Yeah, very much so.
Fucking cunt.
Well, friends of Mr. O'Reilly who took the photo referred to him as the Joker in the pack, the sort of person who would pull such a prank. O'Reilly died in 2005, but the truth will never be known.
But I think we can assume you were going to say, what the truth is.
Now then, what kind of guy would do that?
And next we have Grandpa's Ghost, August
Yay.
1997. On the 17th of August 1997, Denise Russell took a photo of her grandmother who lived alone at the time. We can have a look at the photo.
Yeah, it's up.
Even though the photo had been developed, copied and given to other family members, nobody noticed the male figure standing over her till Christmas Day 2000. Russell family say the figure is the spitting image of their grandfather, who died in 1984. He had returned from the grave for one last photo, together with his widow. Another observation.
Strange, isn't it? They're there.
Is that in a public place?
It's a public park.
Another
I
observation.
don't think it's a park. There's that weird. What's that? The red van behind. Is that behind some? Is that like chain linked in there or something? That's a bit weird.
That's bollards, aren't they? Bollards.
No, because there's cars parked all the way over to the right of it, isn't there? It's a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's where the car park is.
Yeah,
The car park, I think.
What do you?
Yeah, some
Yeah,
bloke's just parked his car and he's walking in, isn't it? That's what it is.
What do you see above the red car, though?
Oh, there's a
Paradola.
face in the bush.
Yeah.
Face in the
Ooh.
bush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had my face in the bush last night.
It's
Hey,
like, yeah.
Dad,
it's like
Dad, where's the clitoris? You should have asked me last night, son. It was right at the tip of my tongue.
And she's got a dildo there to the side, to the right of her. Similar to the one the helicopter woman had.
This one's a bit bent.
Yeah.
Anyway, the thing in the bush is like a hooded figure. You can really see.
To the next picture, let's see the parandola in the bush. Though I don't think that's the ghost. Strange.
Ooh.
Yeah, why is that like tree discoloured from the rest of it? Then?
Two ghosts in one picture.
Ghosts.
Yeah, that's a bit weird. Yeah, you're right. That is really weird, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the what do we call it, effect, isn't it?
It's like the face on Mars.
Yeah.
It looks like a face, but in fact it's just a rock with a
Pangolin effect.
few shadows. Yeah. But the ghost behind her is definitely real. So it's either a bloke or a ghost, not superimposed. And they said it looks like their grandfather who had died some years before. So anyway, peculiar.
I think it's just the bloke who parked his car and walked across the car park.
You think the bloke looked nothing like her husband? Said that. Actually, wasn't even married.
Alright, the next one. Skeletor from Hampton Court Palace.
Oh, we showed the video to this
2003.
because it was in Mysteries of the Unexplained.
Alright.
It was in Unexplained Mysteries. Yeah, we showed the video to this one.
Should we go over it anyway?
Yeah, let's just cover over it. It's our last photo, so we'll just tie it up after this one.
Hampton Court Palace is a royal palace in the London borough of Richmond upon Thames, built in 1529 for Cardinal Thomas Wolsey, Chief Minister of King Henry VIII. It's been host to all kinds of royal shit over all the years, and a number of ghost stories have emerged on the site. As you would expect with such a building, two such ghosts that are said to haunt the palace, former wives of Henry VIII. On three successive nights in October of 2003, Hampton Court security staff were alerted to the opening of a fire door. All three nights, CCTV footage showed the fire doors opening with great force. However, on the second night, a ghostly-looking figure in period dress appeared in the doorway.
In a cloak. That's not period dress, it's in a cloak.
Yeah. It wasn't just security staff who witnessed the figure. On the second day, the same as the recording, visitor had left a comment in the visitor book detailing the sighting of a spectral figure in the same area. The suggested explanation for the ghost is that it is a tour guide in period costume. A security staff said there was no such staff on the premises at the time. Thus, if it was a guide, then no one has come forward claiming to be the figure on the CCTV. Almost 20 years later, the Hampton Place footage, with so many ghosts caught on camera, still cannot be fully explained.
Unusual.
Well, yeah, it could be a burglar.
Well, dressed in period dress. He's not going to gain attention. He's not going to be very, very, conspicuous, is
What,
he?
period dress? What, he was wearing a panty liner, was he?
Yeah.
Yeah, but if people think you're a ghost, who's going to challenge you?
Yeah. Harry Price.
Harry Price will lob a pebble at you.
Yeah. So again, this one is unexplained. Though I think this is probably a battle reenactment person, someone like that, innit?
Well, I think this one's a bit more credible because it's actually on video. It's not just a still.
Yeah.
So
Could
it is
actually be skeletal.
The video isn't is sort of like one which is just separate shots, isn't it? It's not a flow-in video. It's one of those
like the old lady in the helicopter. I mean, you've got no real proof of the provenance of that whatever. You don't know who she is.
I think this is a member of the Battle Reenactment Society who got kicked out. Who got kicked out of the society because they didn't like his cavalier attitude.
That's a bad one. That's a bad one, Ian.
It's the best we've got. But yeah, so there you go.
You sure it wasn't Quasimodo because he got the ump?
Yeah, or someone else who had something. But yeah, so peculiar, and there's
when Anne Boleyn who lost her head.
Yeah, or the guy who got killed by a propeller, which was a no-brainer. Yeah, but
I forgot
we've just
already.
The surface
so stupid.
Tonight we've just scratched the surface of the ghost photos, so there's lots more out there we can look at. So
I think some more modern day ones would be interesting to compare to the older ones, then, because
and also video footage, and also video footage of Ouija boards in action as well. We can try and find some of that to look at, and we can try again and make our own Ouija board video like we did before, but it didn't work.
When you start getting haunted at your house, man, that's fucking call the priest straight away.
When I can start getting haunted at my house, I'm gonna quit all this because I'll make millions. So, oh yeah, I'll be loaded.
Yeah, by crawling on the ceiling. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like selling books. I'll be on chat shows.
When your neck starts spinning around and round, and
I think people will pay good money to see that.
I've got to say, that reminds me. That reminds me, the Deadpool was on last night. Has anyone seen the Deadpool, the Dirty Harry film?
I'm gonna buy a plane.
Do you remember the Deadpool where Jim Carrey's doing his best Axl Rose impression? Yeah.
Is it if you say a demon's name, it disempowers it, right? Just remember that, yeah.
Yeah. Gotta say it.
Yeah, you
5 times in front of the mirror.
For touch.
Peers over your shoulder. But
do you remember that
I saw it the other night. The Jim Carrey
Puckajul for Tunch.
Guns N' Roses are in that film, aren't they? They're extras.
Yes,
you can see them. At the
they do the bit. They're the band, aren't they? But I think I don't remember if Axl.
I think Axl wanted to do the Jim Carrey part, but obviously he's not an actor, so
yeah. Jim Carrey is fucking hilarious. Someone's put just the video on it, and it's fucking hilarious, isn't it? Jim Carrey doing that.
pulling a face.
Yeah, pulling faces while he's trying to
in
mime.
faces. Yeah. Yeah.
And Liam Neeson with his huge dick was in it, man. Apparently, Liam Neeson has a great big dick.
Before he got banned. He's been banned from films now for being racist, doesn't he?
He's punching down black people on the streets of Ireland, man.
Yeah, that's what he said, and he's not been in a film since.
He's still doing films, isn't he? I thought.
See, I don't think. I thought he was.
No one's gonna.
I thought he was blacklisted. Pardon.
Would you blacklisted?
It's hard to navigate the Hollywood landscape these days.
Well, remember, if you get caught diddling young boys, just go, "I'm gay," because it worked for Kevin Spacey, didn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, it's not bad. So yeah, ghosts caught on camera. There we go. Light it up.
Right. So we done?
I think so.
Right. Stay spooky. Woo.
Stay spooky.
Bye bye.